Yo, yo. It's Gaz again with second installment. Indeed, let's turn that down. So yeah, this is Gaz again from KRANIUS. Hope you're well, hope you're safe. And again, as the previous, this is celebrating 25 years since I released the EP What I Am. And as I said on the previous stream or broadcast or whatever you want to call it, this is the second track, as I say, called Face of Death, that featured on the EP from 1999 2000. And yeah, this was a very, very different song than just the heavy chug chug chug. So I've always kind of been into instrumentals. I've always been into the ballad kind of stuff as well, and mood. Like I said on the last one, I'm all about mood. I love to set a mood and a feel. Essentially, this song, Face of Death, probably a bit harsh in its title, maybe, but it kind of came around from personal experience, from experiencing sort of, I suppose, a near-death experience. It wasn't so much a near-death, but I wasn't very well at the time. And when you're kind of in that sort of mindset at that time, it does make you question your mortality, if you want to call it that. So the whole premise of this was based around a personal feeling, a mood, and capturing, that depth of how you feel at the time, trying to put it into words, trying to put it into music. So what can I say about this song? Touch the face of death, waited for the hand of God. Don't know if touch the face of death, waited for the hand of God. Don't even know my own lyrics. Don't know myself anymore. Don't even know if I've been there. So they were pretty deep lyrics round about then. I think I was trying to find my way into writing ballads as well. I felt it was important to do something like that to show my musicianship as well. It isn't all about just chug chug chug. You've got to kind of go with your mood, go with how you feel at the time. I think I was experimenting quite a lot as well with different guitar sounds and things like that. And you can probably hear from this as well, when I do listen back, I think it had a little bit of a Unforgiven, Metallica kind of vibe. Yeah, so listening back to it's weird now. I mean, again, as I said, the first track as well that we played yesterday, I kind of sit back and kind of cringe a little bit sometimes, but I think it's more as a producer sound, sort of standpoint of the lyrics themselves and how they sound, how they were recorded. There was room for improvement, essentially, but again, this was all done on a little well, it wasn't that. In fact, yesterday I did say that it was a Yamaha. It wasn't. It was actually a Boss digital 8-track, which again, it played a massive role in how this album came out, because of the effects and how I could put things down. It gave me that freedom to do a lot more than the previous sort of little 4 tracks that I had. But yeah, it was an interesting writing this one because it's very long song. Even with the solo was quite interesting because I needed to put something that's quite mood, it's quite soulful. It's kind of weird listening back to it now. Had a lot of delay on there. Don't think I've ever played this live, if I'm honest with you. Would have been interesting. Would have been interesting to try and pull this one off, but here we go, big solo. Come on. Yeah, man. I remember putting a bit of time into that solo as well. Needed it to be a little bit, dynamic and have a lot of feel. I think the whole song essentially was about feel when I listened back to it now. But again, don't forget, if you ever want to listen to these songs, KRANIUS.com, KRANIUS.bandcamp.com. The albums are all on there, especially this first EP. Again, wasn't my best attempt. I feel. But that's me. There's always room for improvement. But as far as it goes with the song, I think I did quite a good job on it. Listening back to it now. Long song. Probably fall asleep to it, but it was important to do these kind of things because it paved the way. It paved the way for the future of any other recordings that I did, or what was set to come. So I understood the what's the word, the importance of doing it then, to set how you're going to do things in the future for you, create your craft, if you want to call it that. But it was an interesting song, man. It always, like I say, brings back memories of where I got the ideas. But I was in a bit of a space of my own with this song, in my own head. It wasn't based on anything that I'd seen, or as in, normally I'll see something and you hear a riff, and you kind of go along that way where you're doing your own thing with stuff, and it's based on something that everybody has a common ground with. But this was more introvert of a song, and hopefully kind of triggers or hits what most people go through as well. But that was my take on it. It may mean a lot different to everyone else that hears it. Presses a lot of buttons, for people, but ultimately it was all about mood. I don't think I put too much thought into how I wanted it to sound. I just let it grow on its own and be its own and just go with that mood. But yeah, that's Face of Death. So next one, which is going to be What I Am, the title track. That's the next one after this for this album, celebrating 25 years, like I say, of this EP. I think there's a lot to say about that last track that's coming, so it's definitely worth you tuning in, hearing it. What I have to say about that, I've probably got too much to say, but there you go. But yeah, it'll cap off this album. As I said as well, I'm going to be doing all the other albums, how I kind of, what my mindset was, how things, kind of came about. And it's just going to be off the cuff. No edits on the videos, just raw, me sat here talking about it. But if you've got any comments, you want to know more about what I did, how I did it, by all means, leave those comments. And I'd love somebody as well, if you want to come on the stream, and join in and ask me questions at the same time, by all means get in touch. I'm sure we can sort something out. But it'd be great to do that if it can. But yeah, this again was Face of Death. I'm going to leave you with a few extra bits on it. Don't forget to come around for the next one, which will be the end of this album, as I say, which will be What I Am. That'll be tomorrow, and be sure to tune in, similar time. But until then, stay safe, stay metal, stay well, look after yourselves, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care, boys. Boys? Why did I say boys? Take care, people. I'll see you on the next one. Ciao for now.